on intros if you want us to. It's not a big deal.
Well,
Um,
hey, you know what? I'll get you started. Hey, so today I'd like to welcome Keith Allen Simpson and Stacey Divers Turner from eSource, and I will ask you to make your introductions then, please.
all right, let me pull up something real quick here. All right. I'm making one little adjustment. If you don't mind, we just pulled off from other meetings and I need to be able to see myself. It's not an arrogant thing. It's just I need to be able to see me talking.
In middle of the week, we're getting there.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Okay, I'll figure it out. All righty. So let me get this rolling. Can y'all see okay?
Yeah, we got you.
All right, so you can see it. All righty. Well, let's just jump right in. So first of all,
I
thank
can't
you.
see a presentation if that's what you have
Oh,
though. It's
have I
not
not
sharing it.
shared that?
Yeah.
I thought I did. Let me do that.
And my apologies, I'm swapping screens here.
Bear with us out there, folks.
There we go. All you, sir.
Technological stuff, right? Okay, here we are. Yeah, we're good to go now. There's my, okay. So, first of all, how many do we have on the call and what branch, like what branch of service are you on? If you
I'm
wouldn't
putting it
mind,
in the chat, Keith.
you already put it in the chat?
Yes.
If you go, wow. Thank you. USAF, got a lot of Air Force, Germany. Okay. A lot of Air Force out here. There's some Marine Corps, Savannah, Army Savannah, Georgia, Brian. So my son-in-law is actually well, he's my son. I call him but he's actually stationed in Nellis Air Force Base. He's a flight chief and an instructor for F-15s.
Oh, he's over on the Eagle side. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
On the Eagle side there. Yeah.
Are you
It's been a
Eagle
while
side?
since I've
Are
been to
you in
Nellis.
Dallas?
No, we just usually spend a lot of time out there for red flag and putting holes in the sand.
That's pretty cool. So yeah, my daughter, and I call her my tater tot, their daughter, because my granddaughter, because she was born in Mountain Home, Idaho.
I'm a
So they're
tater
the
tot.
taters, right? So a lot of times she was my spud. She became a tater tot. Sometimes I call her Tasmanian Talia because she's pretty mean sometimes. Anyway, let's get rolling here. Um, so I'm gonna let my co-host with the most, Stacey Divers Turner, if she would give her introduction. Can you see it okay, Stace?
Yes, I can. Well, good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. I am been a career ownership coach with the Entrepreneur Source for about 2 years. I'm a proud military veteran spouse, devoted Christian and mother. I am recently widowed, but I'm drawing strength from my faith and family as I navigate through this new season of life. I reside in Tampa, Florida, and my daughter is doing her first year of college here in Florida. I had been a distinguished 36 year executive leader in insurance from various insurance companies over my career. And then probably about 2 years ago, decided to step out on faith and open my own business where I'm helping other transition people from corporate, from the military, and other things. I am a Roll Tide enthusiast and America's team supporter who believes with the Dallas Cowboys, and I just continue to run my business. Who believe in faith, family, and momentum and driving business success for others. Thank you, Keith.
You're very welcome. And I can tell you, Stacy is killing it in this company, in the Entrepreneur Source. She's straight up doing wonderful. I agree with everything except Roll Tide. I always say is go Hoosiers right now. Since I'm an Arkansas Razorback fan, we needed somebody, and thank goodness for somebody coming out of the abyss. Did they play recently? I think Indiana and Alabama played, right? Wasn't it like a pretty close game? Like maybe it wasn't. I don't remember. Anyway, I like to have a little fun with that. Okay, so this is me. I'm really not that thin. I just kind of threw that picture in there. Looks like it's kind of odd. So just a few things about me. Um, I'm a Christian first and foremost, deep faith. Second is I'm a husband, and this is in the order, pecking order. Father, Papa, and I'm a friend. And I like to serve people, help people. My son was Army National Guard 6 years. I mentioned about my son-in-law. Here's an interesting nugget. My papa, that's just actually on my wife's side, but as far as I'm concerned, I've known him for 21 plus years now. He's 101 years old,
Dang.
and he fought in World War II. He was he fought in the Battle of Iwo Jima. He was one of 3 soldiers left in his entire unit that was not injured, and one of 27 that actually survived it. So he's got some tremendous stories and memories, and really over the past 5 to 7 years, he's finally started sharing all that. So he is walking history, and I tell you what, he loves dominoes, and I think he beats me a lot. So I pretty much think he cheats because we always play with his dominoes, and somehow he wins. So I'm gonna buy something that's not marked up, I guess. But it's just amazing. He's an amazing guy. I am a Woo Pig Suey for life. You can see behind me. There's a lot of things that represent me, and as crazy as it sounds, I'm still a Dallas Cowboys even after all these years. Have been
That's
since
tough,
I was
man.
knee high to grasshopper, they say in the South. Um, Now, the other thing is I'm a cancer survivor, um, and I am about to battle the fourth one. So I'm gonna go through something called CAR T. So you out there, Christian, I love your prayers. I want those really devout ones. And then if you just want to have good thoughts, I'm good with that too. And like Stacey, I'm here to help you guys. So let's just jump right into this and get rolling. Somebody liked the fact that they're praying. I appreciate all that. That's great. Let me check, see if there's anything in the chat we need to bring up. So I thank you all for being here. We got a variety of folks. Now I want to let you know we may be a lot more different than what some of your other presentations are. I don't know how they go about it, but I spent 20 plus years, 24 years, 20, 30 years, 25 years, something like that, corporate America, where I did leadership training development. So we're very interactive. We're going to put some things in the chat. So we want you to answer. We may ask you to come off mute. If you got something you want to share, please do so, because we don't want it just to be about us saying, hey, here's what we got going on. We want you to be able to, go from there. Okay. All right. Does that sound good enough? Yeah or nay? Thumbs up.
Cool.
Give me a thumbs up. You say if it's yes or no. You feel good about it. All right. See, that's an example. That wasn't too hard, was it? Okay. Well, let's do the rolling. Rolling, rolling, rolling. All right. So here's the deal. What is your American dream? Actually, throw it out there in the chat, or someone come off mute. Tell me what your American dream is. Your transition
Travel the
now.
world.
I'm sorry?
Traveling the world.
Yeah, we just
Traveling
got
the
done doing that.
world. Okay. What part? Oh, no. Did I just turn that off? I did, didn't I? Yeah. Finger. Okay. Traveling the world. What part of the world do you want to go? I mean, do you get to do that right now?
I've done a bit, but what the way I'm trying to do it after the army is I want to see a lot of like the ancient, classical, like historical spots around the Mediterranean. It would be a lot cheaper to travel it if I live in Europe. So I'm just trying to get work in Europe to do it.
In Europe?
Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense to me. All right. Anyone else want to come off mute and share? You're welcome to. Okay. What you got in the chat box? What are you seeing in the chat box there? Stacey, anybody? No, nothing.
I
Okay.
haven't said anything yet. So,
Somebody said secured with choices. Money. Trenton, I like your attitude, man. Gotta have money. All right, cool. So the American dream, what it is, Really, that kind of depends on you. Now, here's what we know about military. We work a lot with the military folks because you are primed more than you think to be a business owner. I can tell you what's going on in corporate America, right? And if you would just give me some sort of fun emoji if you've ever thought about being your own boss after coming out of the military. Give me some emoji. Thumbs up, heart, I don't know. Down at the bottom middle. I want to see a bunch of them. You can like click on your name or something down there and let's throw them up there.
A lot of them are.
Matt, is it Matthias? You put thumbs down. You don't want to own a business?
Nah, it's too much work. Make it simple. Just work for Bowen or something.
What? Okay, I hear that. It might be more simple than you think, quite honestly, after a presentation. So here's what we know about military and when we worked with them, and we love, and I know Stacey and I love working with them. You got so much skill. Getting it directed is really amazing because you've got some business acumen, you learned all that, you come out primed, ready, you've got maturity that a lot of civilians don't. They're more corporatized is a thing about it, and you're coming in with that opportunity. Right. So if you've ever considered owning a business, here's a striking statistic. 75% of adults have a strong desire to be self-sufficient. Now, this is across the board. This is a study that was done some years ago. So you got about 70, 75. But of those 75%, there's only 5% that actually make it happen. So my question is in the chat, or you can come off mute, is why is that? Why do you think there's 75% that want to be and own and be self-sufficient, but there's only 5% that do? Now, this is the part where participation is helpful.
I think a lot of people think that it requires a lot more work and energy than it could, because sometimes you can use your natural talents.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's working capital.
Working capital. So basically be able to fund it. So is that what you're kind of saying here there, Bree?
No, this is
I
David.
think someone
David,
else
I was
hopped
saying,
on
yeah.
for that
Oh, I'm
one.
sorry. I was looking off and I thought, well, it sounded like a different. You were talking and it sounded like somebody else. Bree, you got a low voice there for a second. Okay. So yeah, I think what you said is very, very true. But you know what's interesting about what we do is not only do we provide and learn and listen from you, and it's about education, awareness, discovery with us, is the fact that as we coach you, part of that is how do we help you understand that there's funding options out there for you? And we're going to talk about those as well. Okay. All right. So, any questions, comments, concern, any emotional outbursts, this is the time to put them out there in the chat, or anyone else want to come off and say, why do you think? I have
So
one more
Diana stated fear, Keith.
here. Yeah, Donna, would you mind coming off mute and tell us a little bit about that? What are you afraid of? Yeah.
Afraid of failing, afraid of not making it,
Well,
going
who isn't?
bankrupt.
Who isn't afraid of that? And that's a natural fear. You know what's really cool is when you work with it. See this book right here? It's called Your Career Revolution. Not only do we coach you, we have a really great text. So our founder, Terry Powell, by the way, the Entrepreneur Source has been in business for 42 years. We're starting a 42nd year. We approach it much differently than most. Time, capital, and profit. Thanks, Trenton. I might have you say something in a second. But this book also talks about fear. So chapter 3 in the book actually talks about some of those things, Diana. And we talk about how how can we overcome that? When it boils down to it, what does fear really mean to you, Diana? Come off me. What does fear mean to you? What is it actually? How would you define it?
Worrying about the future.
Yeah, worrying about your future. Trenton, you said time, capital, and profit. Is that part of the fear, or where you at, Trenton?
Part of the fear and actual like seeing the results and why a lot of them don't work out.
Okay. So concerned about what those results are. Here's the thing, brother, or any of you. Some of you said there's certain companies you want to go work for. You're trying to find a job or whatever. Why are you looking for a job? Why JOB? Is that what you're used to? Or is that what you've been trained to do or shown to do? I mean, you think
Possible
about it.
stability.
Say again?
Possible stability.
I like what you said, possible. Let me share something with you. I don't know if you're paying attention to what's going on in corporate America. A company I worked for 20, well, actually for 16 years, when I was 51 years old, out of the blue, laid me off. Loyal service. I traveled all over the country for them. Now 4 years later, I'm on business. You know what that same company did about on the end of November, right before Christmas time, or on actually the 3 days before Thanksgiving? Laid off 15,000 people. That's just one company. So here's what's going on out there, and I think Stacey can chime in a moment because I like to get her voice in here, so I can get something to drink with my dry voice. Bottom line, the difference between owning a business. Actually, let's answer this question first, and then we'll talk about that. So let's go back. I'm sorry. Let me go back. Let me go back one. In the chat, what can come with business ownership? What are some good things about it? We talked about fear. We won't spend too much there. Fear is really the unanswered question. It's the obstacle you got to overcome. But what does business ownership? What can it bring you? Now, I seem to be getting the same people. Is everybody else there? Are you out awake, asleep, or what are you doing out there?
First one of the day, so still a little sluggish.
A little silver
think
sluggish. Maybe stand up.
I think Keith, they're all saying a lot of great things. Financial, I mean, independence, it's security and employment. All of those things are very valid of what comes in owning your own business.
Exactly. Okay, so Ernest keeps throwing our stuff out there. You're more than welcome to go ahead and start making as this presentation goes, if you feel more connected to Stacey, which I can totally get that. She's phenomenal at what she does. If you feel more connected to me, I'm pretty decent. I'm pretty good at what I do. And we help people. We want you to be successful. Okay, so now let's go ahead and then let's jump into a few things here that I think would be helpful for you to understand. Now, as we start talking about small business and the economy, if you don't mind dropping that information in the chat for me, Stacey, I want to show you some statistics. So I mentioned, and as I started a moment ago, thank you for letting me get a drink of water too. I just come off radiation, getting prepared for my fourth battle, and voice is a little bit weak.
Beat you up.
The difference between owning and working for somebody, working for a company. Do any of you own houses out there? Raise your hand if you own a house or give me emoji. I'm drinking too much coffee today. I'm a little jittery. So raise your hand, or you own a house, you own some sort of property. Maybe some of you already own a business. I'm still in the barracks. Diana owns a home. Monique, would you mind coming off mute? I'd like to talk to you for a second.
Good morning.
Hi, Monique. Now, where are you located?
I'm in Florida,
What part?
the Panhandle, right underneath Alabama.
Okay, so are you, what is that where the big, like the real nice, the flyers, the people that do the shows? Is that where they're located?
Oh, you're talking about the oh my God, I'm having a brain fart. I
Blue
think they're
Angels,
Help me.
Pensacola.
Blue Angels.
Blue
Yeah.
Angels, yeah.
They're
So are you in
further, I think they're
Pensacola?
further down.
No, what branch are you in?
Air Force.
Oh, thank you for that. Love the Air Force. Now I love all, but I'm kind of biased to the Army and the Air Force because I had family with my sons. So tell me, what's the advantage of owning a home?
Supplemental income, residual income.
And
I,
you own elsewhere and you rent it out?
I have a property in Texas that property management company helps me, and so that additional income is a help.
That's cool. Have you ever thought about property management as a
I have.
Well, then you need to talk to one of us because we've got quite a few of those that do very well that you can own and own much less than you think and have help with it. So is like owning a business is like owning a home. You build equity in it. You can sell it. Can you how many can sell when you leave the military? You can sell your position and rank to somebody out in the real world.
Good luck.
Good luck. You can't. Why? Because you don't own it. The difference between owning and working for someone is like owning a home versus renting one. Key difference. Now let's talk about what that looks like.
I would just like to, I just want to add this too. People who rent, sometimes they don't value and take care of the property as
You
well
got
as
that
when you
right.
own it.
Mhm.
So you gotta come out of pocket with some expenses if you get a tenant that doesn't care about the property.
That is a great
That's
perspective.
that's the downside.
Yeah, and then think about what that means for, you know, corporate or a person working for someone else. If they are disgruntled and don't like their job, are they going to show up every day and give it their best? No. So you lose that when you own something. There's another analogy. How many of you have ever rented a car? Raise your hand or give me emoji. You rented a car? Okay. Let me ask you a question. Outside of having to fill up gas, did you wash the tires? Did you go clean it? Did you buff it, shine it, and send it back that way? Totally
Absolutely
clean?
not. Just a full tank
Full tank. Why did you not do that, Greg?
because I didn't have to.
But you have to. Now, when you own your own car, do you maintenance it? Do you take care of it? Do you put new tires on it? Do you keep it clean?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because I spent a lot of good money on that.
Yeah, and you own it. You're gonna take care of it. Same thing, and you benefit from it. So here's how you do it. Small businesses in America. I'm gonna speed up, and we'll keep on rolling. Make up 33.3 million in the economy. That's pretty big. 65.1 of new job creation. So not only are you owning a business, you're helping people by employing them. 47% of all private sector employees work for small businesses. That's pretty big. Now, this is how it specifically affects the veterans. U.S. Small Business Administration, that's the SBA, reports, that over 350,000 veteran-owned businesses across the United States. According to, that's 6.1%. How big a chunk do you really think that is out there? How big is 6.1? Don't sound like a lot, but if you think about it, the overall perspective, that's pretty big. Okay, so you guys and gals and you soldiers, and thank God for you folks, by the way. I have such a respect for you. Um, you make up a large portion. You're actually 3 times more likely to own a business than civilians. Okay. All right. Now here you have choices. So this is the road that Stacey and I are going to take you down. Does anyone have any questions, concerns, or comments, or anything so far? Anything? Give me a thumbs up if you're liking what we're doing right now. Thumbs up. You can do an emoji, put it in the chat. Awesome. Out of curiosity, give me a smiley face in the chat if you're actually interested in possibly talking to us. Sorry, I thought I was in the chat. Okay, cool. Got a few of us. All right. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. I just want to see some names. Payne, you and I have talked, brother. You got to get back with me, man. Oh, Simpson. Like that last name. Mark, you must be a handsome man. More for my wife. Hey, you know what, Stephen? That works. I actually had a gentleman who's an officer in the Army. He couldn't because he didn't have enough bandwidth. Guess who reached out to me again? His wife. We're working together. So yeah, if you know anybody, let us know. All right, cool. So we'll get all your names. They'll be sent to us, and one of us will reach out to you for sure. If you feel connected, go ahead and put something out there. So let's walk through this. You have choices. All right. And I'm going to turn it over to Stacey right after this. You can start your own business. Let me back it up one. What are the advantages or disadvantages? How about what are the disadvantages of starting your own business? Put in the chat or come off mute. Risk, brand building, startup costs. I've actually been part of a startup, and I can tell you there's a lot of things you just don't know you need. Marketing, supply, absolutely. Building that track record. There's a lot of unknown. How do you pronounce that name? Also, who's this? Says unknown.
Yeah, that's me. That's so I think.
Say what?
It's so I think.
God bless you.
Thank you.
All right. What are some of the unknown costs then, old person? I'm sorry. I'm trying not to butcher it. I'm really one not really good. What do you think some of the unknown costs are? Yeah, I'm asking you a question. You're looking at me. Too many employees, fees. Yeah, okay, a lot of unknowns. Too much. Okay, cool. Well, let's move forward. All right, the next one. You can buy your own business. Well, that means somebody's already built it. So that's like a mom and pop or something like that, a restaurant or somebody started. The thing about that, and I'm not against it, but it's almost like buying a used car. You never know what's really under the hood. So you kick the tires, you get in there. And there's also, they'll say, I will stick around and train you, but they really don't. They just go off. Now, what we work with, and this is where we're going to start into this next piece in a moment. We work with franchises. Now, what do you know about franchises? We're a partner with 200 plus 80. Do you want to know what franchising is?
Oh, yeah.
Put in the chat when I said franchise, first thing come to mind. I'm curious. Very first thing come to mind. Be honest. What it is? Yeah, Mickey D's. That one always comes up. Fast food. It always. Now, we're not out here trying to promote those. I can guarantee you that. Matter of fact, I think we only have maybe one or two, three, maybe food concepts in our 280 plus. I'm hungry now, Trent. You want to get a Big Mac? Where are we going to meet? WWE. All right. So here's the thing. It's not fast food and French fries anymore. It's not donuts. It's not car washes. I mean, those are great franchises, don't get me wrong. But in the whole scheme of franchising, there's about 90 different types of categories now. Tons of options. Matter of fact, Stacey and I, this is a franchise we own, the Entrepreneur Source. We can go anywhere we want to, can't we? Can't we, Stacey? We only need a Wi-Fi, phone, and computer. And that's it. We can reach people all over the country and all over the world. All right. So here's some more statistics to back up what we're talking about, why the franchise industry is achieving incredible results. You can read through those real quickly. Man, they're overlapping. I don't know what's going on with let me back. I don't know really what's going on here, but don't worry about it. Let's go to this. This is how this is what franchising looks like. So for those of you who don't know what franchising is, and by the way, we'll go through this fairly quickly, and if you work with us, we'll provide more information and actually got a document we can drop in for this later if you want it. You're buying a license or trademark or trade name. So what's above my head is a license, trademark, trade name. So somebody said brand building. Well, here's the thing. Our franchise owners are what we call the performance enhancement team or club is not, or center is not, they don't like to use corporate language. So they are really good at building out for us and marketing for us that trade name. So it's recognizable. It's a proven business system. If you have ever played sports and can follow, or you're in the military, I know you can follow a business. You can follow a system. I know you can follow a system. Now all you got to do is follow the business system. They give you the ops manual, they give you the coaching, training, ongoing support. I cannot tell you what kind of training. It's amazing the training you get to help you be successful because you're a top line revenue generator. It's a win-win business relationship. They want you to succeed. So somebody said they're going to go work for Lockheed or go work for whatever. In the chat, what are some of the places some of you are considering? If you're going to go work for someone and rent your job, where are you thinking about doing? Where are you wanting to apply to? Put them out there. Boeing, I can get that, understand. It's a great company. I have nothing against that. And I have nothing against corporate America, by the way. They were good to me, but just as they fired me at the end. Columbus Public School. Somebody wants to be a teacher. I like that. I guess teacher. Boeing, Raytheon. So I'm sure a lot of these folks are coming out of the Air Force because you're prepared for that. Any other thoughts? Does anyone put in the chat seriously if you just don't know? And that's fine if you don't know. Because if you don't know, we want to show you that there's options out there. Not sure. Absolutely, Greg. We want to talk to you. All we're asking for is some time. You can tell us no. We're not trying to sell you on anything. We do things much different. We listen. We basically educate you, help you understand. Okay. Equity built to right to sale. Talked about that earlier. Payments. Now, some of you said, well, there's a lot of payment. Well, here's what's really cool. You know what those are. So you talk about working capital. Not only will the franchise talk to you about that, they'll give you a pretty good sense of what you're going to need for a year in order to get the business viable. So you can budget for it. Can you budget for a startup? You can try.
Good luck.
Well, you better, yeah, you can try because there's a lot of unknown things you don't realize. And believe me, we felt it. Here's an interesting statistic. Startups are 40 to 50% still around in 5 years. Only 40 to 50%. Franchises started up, somebody bought a franchise, 85 to 90% of those are still around after 5 years. Still viable, making money. The difference is the coaching, the support. You work on the business, not in the business. Now you have regulatory oversight. So you're required, or the franchise is required to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly on that franchise. Everything about it. They're required to through what's called a franchise disclosure document. Okay. And then it's normally exclusive territory, meaning that no one can come play in your yard. You own the territory, you play in it. That's what makes it a non-competitive thing with other franchisees, the people in the business, other franchise business owners. That's why we can help each other. We don't feel like we're competing directly. And then the last one, and I'm going to turn it over to Stacey. Franchise agreement is normally 10 years. So you pay for an upfront franchise fee. So Stacey and I have paid X amount of dollars to run this for 10 years. Doesn't mean that means we're done after 10 years. We can then pay like year over year, like paying for a, whatever. Right? And Stacey, we'll do a zip file. So thank you for that. So I'm going to turn it over to Stacey and I'll start running the back half and let her keep going. She's going to show what we do and who we are.
Yeah, thanks, Keith. And I'll tell you all, it's a lot of great answers in here. Talk about franchising, fear always sets in. And I always tell the story that I was fearful the day that I signed my contract, but I did take the option to kind of bet on myself because what was my other option? So, I just want to kind of explain some basics on like what we offer you all at no cost to you. A lot of times, we get individuals who are transitioning out of the military, transitioning out of corporate. A lot of companies are laying off at this time. So we get a lot of people who are just in that state of what's next. And I ended up, when I looked at franchising, I probably looked at 10 different ones and ultimately decided on the entrepreneur source because when I was in corporate, I always worked with entrepreneurs. And so it just seemed like the right fit for me to be able to educate other people about the potentially a possibility of what's next. That could be getting a job at Boeing, or it could be being a teacher somewhere, but it might be having the ability to do both, or having the ability to do one versus the other. So Keith and I both are franchise owners with the Entrepreneur Source. And what we do is help bring clarity to you. We educate you on the various options that you have available and what those vehicles could be for you to be successful now and in the future. In addition to that, we start exploring possibilities. I, work with individuals all the time, and we look at different possibilities to help you reach your lifestyle goals, your income goals, your wealth goals. And if you want to build equity, like an annuity for your family in the future, we help you design what that looks like. The bottom line is when you finish with us, we stay with you the entire process, you reach your point of clarity. So working with us and making those decisions doesn't cost you anything other than your time, but it is a time for you to sit down one-on-one and for us to talk and really get to know you and find out what your goals are. When I decided to leave corporate, it was just, I was tired of the corporate politics. I had been in it for a long time. I was an executive, very successful in my career, but I knew that I needed something more. And at the time, my husband became extremely ill, and I needed to be a caregiver too. So I was looking for something to replace my corporate salary and having the lifestyle that I needed with a lot of flexibility. So I know Monique said earlier, a lot of time and energy. And I can tell you when I was working corporate, I was working 50, 60, 70 hours a week sometimes, but I probably haven't worked 40 hours a week. And this, having my own business, only because my schedule wouldn't allow it, but I did exceed my corporate salary. So it's just a time for you to kind of reflect on the entire picture, on what that looks like for you and your family. A lot of times when I'm working with veterans, they just want something where they can spend more time with their family. So that's kind of what we offer. It's no pressure. And feel free to go out to LinkedIn, look at our recommendations and how we work with individuals. But it's just really at the bottom line, making sure that at the end of our journey together, that you've reached whatever point of clarity that is for you and your family. So one of the things that we Keith asked earlier, like when you think about franchising, everybody always says McDonald's, Subway, Chick-fil-A, but we are partnering with over almost 300 franchisors, and there's 64 veteran-friendly franchises, which means that they're franchisors that are under 100K. And those franchises are veteran friendly. And that could range from automotive, pet services, health and wellness, senior care services. There are a lot of franchise industries who offer a 5 to 50% discount to veterans. And so those are the industries, and I don't have anything to do with McDonald's or Subway, but there are a lot of different options that people don't even think about that are franchises out there. And we also work with our veterans to talk about what are your funding options. So we have a lot of strategic partners, whether that's someone with the Small Business Association, if you're using your TSA with Guidant and Veteran Financial. So we have a lot of 6 funding partners that we would introduce you to at some journey just to educate you on your various options. I'll pause for a second. Brent, you have a question?
Yes, just the under 100,000, under 75K, is that the franchise fee or total startup cost projected?
That would probably be the total startup cost.
Okay. Gotcha. Thank you.
So we have six funding partners. I know if any veterans are disabled more than 20%, there is a veterans readiness grant that a lot of veterans qualify for, and that allows you to have up to a $25,000 grant that you can qualify for. So we would give you that information. So there's a lot of resources out there for veterans, and we do have those funding partners with Benetrin, the CDC, Small Business Finance, First Finance, Jumpstart Finance, or even Startup Loans USA that help our veterans or any individual who is looking for options on funding. And even the process with them is all about the education, because you may have some resources that you don't need outside of those partners.
If you don't mind, let me throw something in there, Stacey. At the time of me putting a slide together, it was called Jumpstart Finance. Now it's called Jumpstart, powered by Finance Factory. So they have partnered with a kind of a larger organization that provide even broader financial products and more. They're actually funding more people because they've expanded, and they are very, very, very veteran friendly. So and again, that's part of that education. If there's a will, there's a way. If you want to own, you can. So I just want to throw that in there, Stacey.
Sure.
Ready to move on?
Yes.
Okay.
So, the next step is simple. Keith and I would be open to having a conversation with you and talk about what's possible for you and your family. Just a reminder, our services are all complimentary, and we're just here to educate you and guide you through potential opportunities that could be afforded to you and help you meet your goals in the future. There's no perfect moment, the time, it doesn't really exist, because a lot of times we put off things. There's no perfect moment. And this journey, the moment is when you create or take action. So you have my QR code, you have Keith's QR code. If we don't hear back, if you don't sign up with us directly, we will still have someone, reach out to you if you're interested in just potentially learning about franchising. And we look forward to working with you. And I
Basically,
apologize
hunt you
that
down.
Keith has too much coffee today because he was all over the place.
I was.
You were.
Well,
I
yeah,
couldn't follow along with you.
You like to follow the script. I kind of like just to ad lib. You got the message through, right? We're good. We're good. So yeah, I put that out there because that's a little bit of my personality. I just like to have fun, and coaching is, like she says, great. So now, if there's any questions you may have, we've got. How are we doing on time, Ernest? We got a few more minutes, or?
Yeah, we got about 7-8 more minutes.
All right. So hey, if you want to pick our gray matter, go right ahead. I mean, she's probably got more than I do. Especially got better hair.
Are there any limitations? So if somebody here buys a franchise, runs it for 3 years, say they got that military discount. There's any limitations? They say, hey, I'm done with this. I just want to sell the business.
You can sell it.
Okay. I just want to make sure
No,
that discount didn't come back to bite them in the butt or anything.
The discount wouldn't matter, but there are franchise contract agreements. Like with the Entrepreneur Source, my agreement was for 10 years. I can definitely get out of it before the 10 years. There's just different ways, but it wouldn't necessarily mean that if you got out it within 3 years that you would have to pay that discount back, because the discount is off the top for when you actually sign with whatever franchise that might be.
You actually don't pay that because it's a discount. And as far as the selling it, what I would say, the virtual business is probably a little bit harder to sell than some. But if there's if it's a physical business, like if we go back to this slide,
like a brick and mortar.
What we mean by physical businesses, they don't necessarily have to be brick and mortars, but there's a pet service businesses that you can run from home. There's a lot of run from home type businesses that do require to have a truck or a vehicle that takes you to, so you take your product and service to, and then those are very viable and easy to sell. You can build that business up. So anything that has an asset tied to it, see, ours don't really have an asset tied to it. other than computer and that sort of stuff. But if you have an asset tied to it, like a vehicle or a car or labor or whatever it may be, you can build that up for more than what it was when you bought it. It's more valuable, just like you do improvements on your home, and you can sell it. Okay. What other questions do you have? Good question. This is the part where participation is helpful. Let's use this time.
I have a question with the veterans, the grant, because I retire 1 March. So do you need to be VA rated to get that grant? Like,
No, that from the veterans, if you have a VA disability rating of 20% or higher, then you should go out and apply for that grant because they're awarding. I've had them award clients up to $25,000 grant, so
Wow.
that's money you don't have to pay back. But yes, if you have that VA disability rating of 20% or higher, a lot of times when individuals are transitioning, they don't have that rating yet. So at
Right.
some point during the process, you would go back and apply for the grant for your business.
okay, right. Because I'm kind of like I'm just gonna wait until I'm out because a lot of things hasn't materialized yet. So, but I've saved the link. Thank you.
That's pretty cool. 25,000 free dollars, man. That's awesome. Now, I would say for those of you who think you have to wait to get out to start, I'm working with 3 that are still in right now, and they know when they're transition. Something we share with our team or our team with the people we work with, and I do, is that this is a marathon, not a sprint. We don't have a timetable. I mean, there's not like you have to do this at a certain time. I have people that will. I actually had a lady that started a year ago and paused for life circumstances, and she come back. Now she looks like she's going to place. So, that's what our role is. We understood that going into the business. But now there's a lot of businesses that, are service oriented, subscription oriented, residual, great turnkey businesses. So if you're looking for those kind of businesses, there's a lot of them out there. Out of curiosity, while we're talking, we got a few more minutes. If you're looking at this list, and like we catered this to show you specifically the ones that are veteran friendly. We know that these already have a veteran discount, and there's many of them that are under, that 50 to 75,000, which for a franchise is fairly cheap, honestly. And they're great turnkey businesses. But out of curiosity, put in the chat, what are some of these areas that you might be interested in learning more about? Any of these intrigue you? Okay. Education, a lot of great ones. Automotive. Ooh, there's a good one out there. Really great business for automotive, Mark. Senior care property. Oh, wow. Well, senior care is booming. You know who's making it boom? The boomers.
Yeah, they say the majority of the country is baby boomers, and within the
You're
next
absolutely
couple
right.
within the next couple decades,
Did you,
my mother stays with me. She's still healthy, but part of my mission is to make sure I'm there with her as she ages. Or
exactly.
she's here with
Frank
me.
says they need care and they're already rich. I see where his mind is. Payne, you need to get back with me. We've talked. We need to talk again. I can tell you about what's really interesting is that 2 years ago, based on numbers, there's about the oldest boomers started turning 80. Predictions say about anywhere from 10 to 12,000 boomers are turning 80 every single day, and will be for the next 20 plus years, like you said. And they need care. They're independent and they don't want to go work. They don't want to go to homes. They want to stay at home, but they still need in-home care. And we've got some really great in-home care businesses, really good ones. Okay, did I see somebody else or Jared's in marketing advertising? Jared, we got I think for one more person to comment, and we'll turn it back over to Ernest. What's your thoughts? Tell me about marketing advertising. What do you envision there?
So can Brent tell me what Woo Pig Sooty Sports is?
What?
I'm sure.
Oh,
Brent,
That's
what did you type in there?
that was just at Keith because he's an Arkansas fan.
where are
Oh,
you,
okay.
Brent?
I'm a
Okay.
Tennessee fan.
Okay, you can go off mute now. Now go ahead, Brent. So tell us a little bit about which one, since you opened up the can of worms here, which one of these jumps out? You said, did you jump out one?
Yeah, sports and coaching options.
Got several of those. We do. Some of them might be in the fundraising area with kids. Some may be wellness. So sports wellness tends to go together.
I've looked at in zone sports already as well.
Okay, never heard of them, but I'm sure we might have something. We tend to have a lot of things that are similar, or competitor. So yeah, talk to us. All right. Anything else? Is this? Are we gonna? Are you? I think
We
you
are.
talked about 10 of, right?
Yeah, yes, sir. So, hey, Stacey, Keith, I want to thank you once again for coming on, dropping a little wisdom, sharing some opportunities with these folks, because I have known some folks with franchises and they are not angry with life. So,
They're
hey,
not.
thanks. Yeah, thanks
They're
for
not.
coming out. Entrepreneur
Oh,
Source.
Diana asked, can we answer that? Do we have time to answer that question real quick? I don't
Sure,
want
go
to
ahead.
leave without it. Examples of wellness. So like spas, tell us something to other, Stacey, at spas and
Like
Yoga.
heavy
hydration.
hydration. I'm thinking of some off the top of my head. Um,
Wellness spas, hydration, also could be,
Sometimes there's ones that do like you know, PRP or um kinetics where they take
yeah,
your cells and kind of um what is it,
yeah,
like the
the
plasma?
plasma, they take your
Yeah.
plasma and then they re-inject it into certain areas of your joints. Um,
Mhm.
and I would also, part of that is also maybe like, goes into healthcare as well, like, and also maybe gyms and that sort of thing could be wellness. Some people see it that way. Some people just see getting good haircuts, as well. So there's a lot of it in that area. Diana, did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
You're very welcome. Navy lady.
Well, excellent. Hey, thanks once again, Stacey, Keith, for coming on from Entrepreneur Source. And if you guys got any questions, the LinkedIn links are in there. Hit them up. See if you can't start a business. And we'll come back.